messages this week. So we want to thank those who are tuning in. Thank you for your patience with us. Feel free to provide questions for us right now through the various tools that we're, through Facebook, through YouTube as well. So we've got a couple things that we're discussing. One, the primary is the topic of courageous leadership during a time like this. We want to provide an opportunity, our team does, to be able to ask you questions, you ask us questions that you might feel the need for us to cover during this time. So feel free to ping us with various questions. We also have a couple of technologies that we've put out. One, if you go to talentmagnetinstitute.com/webinar, we have a webinar that you can launch and join us this Wednesday and this Friday at 10 a.m. If you sign up for that and you're not able to attend it live, you'll get a link to that webinar for any of those who sign up. So talentmagnetinstitute.com/webinar will allow you to join us for a webinar that we're going to be leading Wednesday and Friday at 10 a.m. We also, if you go to speakpipe.com/talentmagnet, you can submit questions, thoughts, needs, things that you're coming across directly to us. You can share insights and perspectives that you would like to share on one of these Facebook Lives, or ask questions, concerns, things that you're dealing with real time, and please feel free to submit those to us. Brian, thank you for tuning in. Colleen, good morning to you as well. So again, thank you for all those who are tuning in. I'm also getting some questions while we're here, so thank you for that. Wanted to make sure, just add those to the stream versus text messages so I can focus on the camera. So thank you for doing that. So there's a couple things that we want to address today around courageous leadership during the times that we're in. First and foremost, the way that we're going to focus on this is really to what we believe helps organizations and leaders become talent magnets, right? So all of this is going to come back to how do you be a talent magnet in today's economy and in today's world. Now is a great time. I say the leadership shows up when the leader leaves the room. That's when culture and leadership shows up. How do our people operate without us in the room? And leadership also shows up during the most difficult times and circumstances. So we want to address some topics that we believe is important. And I also know that these topics are transferable, whether in the workplace or at home right now, as so many of us are quarantined and in our homes, and we're around our little people and our elderly people and our spouses. So all of these are very transferable. Number one, empathy. Listening, communicating, and seeking to understand is critical during a time like this for us and our people that are around us. Having empathy around the negative emotions, the challenges, the struggles, the questions that everyone is asking of us as leaders. Also the real life circumstances that our people are going to be wrestling with and struggling with and dealing with is critically important during a time like this, that we be empathetic, that we listen, that we understand, that we care. Empathy. So I believe that we all right now more than ever need to be extra empathetic. Let's listen, let's seek to understand when people, even in the midst of today, we're all going to get frustrated. And I think we need to understand the anxiety and the turmoil and the challenges that people are dealing with. We need to care about our people. We need to ask our people right now What can we do to help them? So let's be empathetic during this time. Let's care. Let's show that we care to our people by asking important questions, having an open heart, understanding that there's concern and real challenges and struggles. And although we all deal with things our own personal way, let's be empathetic. So you can bring that into your workplace, you can bring that into your neighborhood, you can bring that into your home. Let's understand that we're all dealing with something that's somewhat unknown. And fortunately, many of us have not been through this type of pandemic. But let's be empathetic to our leaders, to those who report to us, to those who look up to us, to those who are around us. Let's have an extra sense of care. As my good friends Chris and J.J. Taylor and their family said, also don't forget to say hello, to look someone in the eyes despite our social distancing, and to say hello to individuals and ask them how their day is. Ask them what they're wrestling with, what they're struggling with, what their challenges are, and let's express that care. So number one, empathy. Number two, courage. All of us, including myself, last week, fortunately I've got a great team around me who were asking questions and who were setting some plans and who were bringing new ideas. I need to have courage, you need to have courage, but we also are dealing with our own anxieties and stress. So for me, being reminded, yes, Mike Sipple has to be reminded to take a breath many times when I'm around my community and peeps. But we all need to take a deep breath. We all need to, ideally, you would be journaling during this time. You'd be setting some intentions. You would still be setting goals, laying out thoughts, and having the courage to manage through this time, to help others manage through this time. This is, what our good friends at LeaderCast says, leader self. We all need to have courage and be able to manage through anxiety and stress right now. Courage that we can overcome, that we can manage through this. I know for me personally, one of the most encouraging things for me, I was sharing with a friend this morning that I was on the phone with at 7 a.m., that over the weekend, our church, like many of those who attend a place of worship, streamed live. And it also gave me great courage that I'm not in this alone, that certainly we have our community, we are surrounded by great people, but for me, this is where my faith in the Lord also comes into play, that I'm not in this alone. And that brings great sense of anxiety, brings it down, that all of us can have. Listening to encouraging music, whether it be worship music or other music that you enjoy, just to kind of soothe our souls. I listened to a little jazz yesterday that was a pianist that was live streaming on Facebook, and just to kind of bring some calm to the anxiety and to have courage to step up today and to lead well and to lead with intention and to be focused on the things that we need to be focused on, despite by the end of the day today, I might be dealing with things that I haven't dealt with before, and so will you. But let's have the courage to lead on. Also the courage to ask questions and to ask for feedback, guidance, and wisdom. So one of the things that we're really blessed by is connections, right? So any way that our team can help you during this time, questions that you're wrestling with, questions that you have, feel free to, you should be providing that out to your network and to your resources. And have the courage to ask the question. Don't feel like you're going at this alone. So thank you for all those who tuned in. Todd, good morning to you. Richie, hello. Mr. Brown, good morning. Doug, thank you for joining us this morning. We just discussed, so I would recommend at the end of this to kind of roll back. The first 2 points that we just covered were empathy, having empathy during this time, and courage. The third point Transparency and vulnerability. We're going to get into this a little bit more in our webinar, but people do not expect you and I to have all the answers right now, right? So let's be transparent and vulnerable with our people to let them know that we're in this together. We're not doing this on our own. We're in this together. We're a team. Express that to your families. Express that to your employees, that I need your help just as much as you need my help. We are in this together. Let's brainstorm together. Let's think about this together. Hey, you're dealing with struggles. I'm dealing with struggles. Let's work together on our struggles. Let's be open, be vulnerable. I believe that leaders need to show some vulnerability to their people. And when you do, they know they can show their vulnerability to you. And how important is that? I've been in work environments and organizations where people share that I'm in a place that will not allow me to be vulnerable, that doesn't allow me to express my own personal challenges and struggles and professional questions. I've also been in environments where people say, wow, this is a place where the leaders are vulnerable. The leaders share that they don't have all the answers, and it actually encourages and inspires me to do more and to step up, that I'm not in an environment where I have to act like I'm just executing what's being asked, but I can share my insights, share my perspectives. So let's create workplaces that allows our people right now, let's do the same in our households, that allows our people right now to share their thoughts of what we could do next, to share their ideas of what we might want to put in the parking lot, to share their ideas of things that we could get accomplished. That vulnerability right now for me is letting my team know, hey guys, and ladies, I need you. I need you as much as you need me, and let's work together to keep our stress and anxiety as low as possible by locking arms and showing that we're in this together. I encourage you to set up some times. I've been using Zoom with my team to just allow people to verbalize, hey, what's going on? What's taking place? How do your days look different? How do we execute different? How do we serve differently? How can I serve you? What can I be here for you? What are your concerns that you have? I would recommend you do that today with your team, whether you're via virtual through Zoom, or putting out an email sometimes just quite isn't the same. And I would let you know that we're here for you. So feel free to ask us questions. Use us as a resource. We say often that leaders are lonely at the top, and it is so true. I'll also say sometimes parenting can be lonely at the top. But with leaders, we need a place, we need advisors, we need people to turn to, we need resources to reach out to, and our team is opening up our lines to say, hey, ask us right now what we can be doing for you. Mike, here are things, Centennial Talent Magnet Institute, here are things that I don't know what to do. I've never had to handle this before, and ask us. Ask us, it's an open-ended question. We did open up a line, speakpipe.com/talent magnet, for people to submit thoughts, questions, ideals, concerns. Also, feel free to reach out to me directly. I had several of you reach out to me over the weekend asking about, hey, I'm a manager. I don't know how to handle this situation. I've never faced this before. I'm a business owner. Mike, who do I connect? I need to reach out to such and such. I need to understand the essential business list. I need to understand the quarantine rules for workplaces that are open. What are resources that I can be navigating through? So keep calling, keep asking questions. We've been dealing with things around start dates. We've also been dealing with some clients that are like, hey, I need to hire during this time. How do I keep my interview processes moving? What do I need to think about differently when employees and candidates can't fly in? It's difficult to fly in. It's difficult to interview in person. So how do we keep that going? And how do we make sure the employee experience, the candidate experience stays high, open, and vulnerable? Those are some questions that we've been navigating through. Kathy, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in. We also want to ensure that you take time now to check in with your customers. Our team's going to be deploying some follow-up with many of our clients this week, and critically important for us to all kind of check in and just see what we can be doing to help. How can we serve? What things, what connections, what resources do you have? So client check-ins is something that I'm certain many of you have already done this, but I would say continue to stay focused on the customer and understand how you can help and also how they can help you. The other dynamic is putting a team together, developing a team focused on the current state, right? So accounting, finance, supply chain, manufacturing, sales, marketing, IT, security, risk. We all need to be coming together to work, our administration team, our operations team, and any of those functions that I might have just left out, all need to be coming together. Put a team together to focus on the current state. Critically important that we think about the current state. The other team that we need to put together is developing a team that's focused on the future state for two areas. One, when the economy turns back on, what do we need to be doing to focus on? How do we build a team that's thinking about the future? And also, what are we experiencing right now that's actually going well, right? What is our team doing that we might need? This could be a new norm, a new operating norm. So I would also encourage you to think about that. So a team that's focused on the current state, that call it a triage and emergency team, and then also a group of maybe 2 to 3 people thinking about the future state based on practices and things that you're executing inside your organization. So thank you for those that tuned in. So what we have been discussing, empathy, how leaders today need to be more empathetic than ever for anyone that they're around, professionally or personally. Josh, thank you for your comments, and anything I can do for you, brother. So we're focusing on empathy. We're focusing on courage to acknowledge ourselves and what we're going to be wrestling with through anxiety and stress. But leaders, our teams need us to be courageous. We need to be thoughtful. We need to be empathetic. We need to be caring. We need to be vulnerable is the second. One, transparency and vulnerability. We need to be transparent and vulnerable for our people. They're not expecting us to have all the answers. We're not expecting them to have all the answers. But what we can do is share, and I guarantee you the best ideas are within you and your team coming together, being transparent and vulnerable, being empathetic to their needs, and also being empathetic to your own personal needs. I know this is a time where we need to be thoughtful and listen to ourselves, and we need to be able to call a timeout and say, hey, I need a couple minutes. I just need to think. I need to clear my head. I need to journal. I need to make some notes. The other is client check-ins, ensuring that we are checking in with our customers right now, just whatever we can do to help them, to serve them, to be with them. I'll also add developing a current triage team, and then also a future triage team are a couple of other things that I would add to our list that we need to do. So thank you for all who tuned in. I'm going to hop off here and hop on a call with my team as we're putting together some thoughts around all of the many activities we're executing this week. Please add your thoughts. We're going to be building on these for our webinars this Wednesday and Friday at 10 a.m. You can go to talentmagnetinstitute.com/webinar and register for one of those sessions. If you're not able to make it, if you register, you'll get a link to that webinar, so please sign up now. We also are going to enable a resource called speakpipe.com/talentmagnet for you to submit your questions, thoughts, comments to the work that we're doing and how we can further help you in the work that you're doing. So again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I thank you for your leadership. I thank you for your courageous leadership during this time. Do me a favor, go ask some questions of your team, of your family, wherever you are right now. What can you do to help them, and what can they do to help you? What do you need to focus on today? What do they need to focus on? Let's create clarity. Let's create space to talk and communicate. Let's create an opportunity to lead well and to teach others how to lead well during this time. I thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you. I appreciate the relationship that you all have with our firms, both at Centennial and the Talent Magnet Institute, to be able to be a resource for you during this time. We're going to be live with the webinars 10 a.m. Wednesday and Friday. We also, our faculty and our team, so our faculty at the Talent Magnet Institute and our team at Centennial are doing our part to step up, and we're going to be recording some live Zoom and live feeds and live streams and this week as well. So we've got those populated. Again, use these as resources and encouragement. Use these as an opportunity to ask questions, to express care and interest in your people. Let us know how we can help you right now. Be a resource by making connections, by putting out creative ideas and thoughts and ways to help you lead well. Stay calm, stay courageous, and continue to do your part to be a talent magnet. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Feel free to continue to submit your comments and thoughts. We appreciate all of you who joined this conversation, and we look forward to the next one.